Look at a landscape like this: dense forests covering millions of acres, deep, sprawling water networks, and earth packed with raw minerals. It stands to reason, whoever lives on top of all this physical wealth must be highly prosperous. If the land is rich, the people should be rich too. But reality rarely matches that logic. Some of the most resource-dense regions on the planet, places moving millions of tons of raw earth every year, also struggle with severe poverty, lack of basic infrastructure, and stagnant economies. Having an abundance of natural materials beneath your feet does not guarantee a high standard of living for the people walking above it. Economists call this the natural resource curse, or the paradox of plenty. It happens when a region relies heavily on a single extractive industry, like oil or iron, that it neglects to build a diverse economy, leaving the population vulnerable to uneven wealth distribution and social unrest. Beneath the macroeconomics, there is a simple geographic equation at play. True wealth over time is dictated entirely by balancing the rate we extract a resource against the speed at which nature can renew it. Think about this trade-off. If your state discovers a massive iron reserve, do you build a mine or protect the forest above it? What are the long-term consequences of that choice? The curse is never a flaw in the geography itself. It is the direct result of short-sighted human management. To see exactly how this mismanagement happens, we have to look below the surface and observe the hidden mechanics of an ecosystem at work. Take groundwater. Naturally, rain trickles down and slowly replenishes the underground water table. Then, humans introduce large-scale extraction, dropping industrial pipes to rapidly pull water up. When our pumps outpace that slow downward trickle, the math breaks. We actively drain the reserve, dropping the water table deeper. Whenever human extraction permanently outpaces nature's renewal, the landscape enters a state of ecological bankruptcy. We can see this mathematical imbalance clearly in the fertile plains of Punjab. In the 1960s, the Green Revolution brought high-yielding wheat and rice crops to the region, which required massive, historically unusual inputs of both water and chemical fertilizers to grow. The local climate, driven by seasonal monsoons, provided a steady but limited amount of rainfall. The new hyper-intense agricultural methods demanded far more water than those macro-level monsoons could provide. To make up the difference, farmers heavily pumped the groundwater. Over decades, this extraction caused the local water tables to drop by 30 meters in some areas, while the continuous use of synthetic fertilizers chemically degraded the soil. Apply this math to where you live. Does it rain enough year-round to refill the exact amount of water your community uses every day? Securing short-term food production by ignoring ecological limits ultimately creates long-term vulnerability for the entire region. Contrast that with the mountains of Sikkim. Facing declining crop yields and damaged chemical-dependent soil, the state government made a deliberate policy choice. They shifted entirely away from extraction and transitioned to 100% organic farming. This transition required transparent government policies to support farmers through the difficult early years, combined with active community participation to relearn sustainable, traditional agricultural techniques. Over time, the math corrected itself. Local biodiversity returned, soil health recovered, and farmers' incomes rose by 20% by selling premium organic crops. By aligning their economy with the landscape's natural rate of renewal, Sikkim proved that regenerative governance can actively heal a stressed environment. Looking at the entire subcontinent, the pattern becomes clear. The paradox of plenty is a human-made problem, which means it responds to human-made solutions. Escaping the resource curse requires specific mechanisms, transparent policies that monitor extraction, the equitable distribution of resource revenues so local communities actually benefit, and investing those revenues into building a diversified economy. Take a look at this satellite image of a massive solar park in the desert. This is what it looks like to move away from the quick cash of a mining boom and invest instead in multi-generational, sustainable infrastructure. A region's prosperity is determined by long-term planning and governance, not simply by what lies buried beneath its soil. These massive geographic patterns scale all the way down to your daily routine. Every time you turn on a tap, consume a product, or throw away waste, you are participating in this extraction and renewal math. Understanding how those micro-local actions impact the broader macro environment is what we call geographic literacy. It is the very first step toward making smarter decisions about the materials we use. Nature is highly resilient. With active stewardship, a stressed ecosystem can recover, and any resource curse can be broken. So look around your own school or home. What is one resource being used faster than it can be replaced? And what is one rule you could propose to fix it? Ultimately, true prosperity is not found in exploiting the earth, but in sustaining it for the generations to come.